Boom, boom, boom,
Boom,
boom.
and we're here, right?
Hey, we're here already.
Uh,
All right.
Welcome back, Mike. You're back in the land of the norm,
Back in the land of the free.
down in New Orleans.
Nolans,
Well,
we'll talk about that in a little bit. But yeah, it's
yeah.
good to be back, and we got a lot going on today.
Did you
We
say
already got
X
Eric on
is
there.
working, or is
X,
X not?
X came up on it is working on my phone, and
Okay.
also, I'll
Well,
double
check
check.
it again because it says we don't have no. It says sending data. That's why I was wondering.
No, well, we'll double check it. So yeah, we
I know we've always us and X. It's a great platform as far as it's clear things like that. But we've always had this love hate because sometimes it works, sometimes it don't, and I don't.
Well,
know
it says we're live now, but it's not.
but
It's
it's
not
not
showing.
there.
It's not showing the video. No.
Lynette, that took place down at the Black Hills Stock Show down in Rapid City a couple of years ago, if I remember right. She used to do it quite regularly when she lived in Rapid City. So that's my sister. She does a really good job, and I grabbed that, and then I put a little bit of another video overlay on top of it with the riders. So it turned out pretty good. I kind of whipped it together one night. We're playing that, everybody. As we told you on Monday, we got some issues happening over on YouTube. Probably right now we're there. I haven't looked, but it looks like we're streaming there. So,
well, I know why we're not on X. It's kind of like Joe Biden. It says we're live, but we're not really. So
we're not there.
We're not there.
Like I said, I don't know why it worked great Monday when Jamie and I got on there. I do not know why.
YouTube is working fine. YouTube is on there. So
anyway,
Twitch is on there.
If you went to X, come back over. I don't know why it's not working over there tonight. We still got to figure out and get that more. I don't understand why it does not work over there sometimes. I don't get it. But yeah, okay. I just checked it out. You're right. Yeah. So I do not know why it does that, but hopefully we can figure it out.
Hey, Brian's here. So is Keith. So hello.
Sorry, I'm letting everybody know.
Thank you. In the meantime, so yeah, back from New Orleans. There was one thing about the ELCA down there. Of course, 17,000 kids coming in for that conference and everything else. And no matter what you say about that, you've got to say that it goes to show that you can make a city safe when you have all those kids down there, because they did. They got rid. They jailed all the bad apples, and there were some down there, but yeah, they cleaned up the city a little bit for us for that week, and made it nice. So go figure, it can work.
Yeah, no, well, it's just like I read an article about the RNC. Evidently, they wanted the Milwaukee mayor, and I don't know, it must have been the governor and somebody else. They wanted to have a confiscation of guns in what they call the soft zone.
Yeah.
And basically, there's a Wisconsin state law says, no, you can't do that.
You can't.
And the RNC wasn't going to do it. The Secret Service wasn't going to do it. And there was really no incidents. There was one guy, he was a black guy, I guess. I forget the guy's name. And essentially, he had a backpack and a ski mask on, probably not the right attire to be wearing to something like that. And they found an AK-47 gun in there, which would have been kind of a handgun, probably a short-barreled pistol, and that he didn't have a license for. And that's what he was arrested for, wasn't that he had the gun? He was arrested because he didn't have the license to have it.
There you go.
Anyway, but it went off. I mean, there really wasn't any issues out there either.
No, except for the goofy protesters, and I was...
Well, that caused a problem.
Yeah, I know.
But, Biden tonight, we got to jump into this quick. Like, as everybody knows, Biden has dropped out of the race, and heels high, Harris, she's going to presumptively end up being the DNC nominee, which is a whole litany of issues there within their party. And they're trying to form this front that they're unified. They are not. Believe it or not, I do have Democrat friends. They're not happy. They feel like their vote didn't count now that they placed in the primary, which I would not disagree with them. So Biden gave this, he addressed the nation tonight while we was down here prepping. I went ahead and pulled it up there. To me, it looked like the Oval Office, but it looked like a virtual background to me personally. And he was definitely reading that from a teleprompter.
Very big font.
Yeah, very probably. And it was 13 minutes, and he said nothing, really. He didn't say why he quit. He just said it was a great honor to serve you. At first, I thought he was going to resign the way He started out that, it was a great honor to serve you, best honor of my, all that, and then went into, oh, we did this. We have a great economy. We created more. I mean, he went into this delusion of the things he's accomplished, which is that much, none. And then said, thank you, my fellow Americans. And that was it. And, and God bless the military. And then hung it up. 13 minutes long.
Hey, we almost forgot real quick. I got to throw this out there real quick. So let's get this done real quick. You want to throw it out?
Go ahead.
Oh, excuse me. A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Now, do you think, as bad as I read that Biden could have read it better?
No. The Second Amendment, Roosevelt, I don't know.
Shotguns and muskets.
But, yeah, and that's all. It doesn't say nothing about F-16s. Yeah, anyway.
F-16s.
Anyway.
Okay.
Yeah. So, anyway, this leads into what I kind of wanted to really talk about was the fact that Biden's going to be no longer. He's a lame duck president, which makes him more dangerous, or not him, whoever his handlers are, which is probably Obama. I don't know. Keith O'Donnell. 13 minutes is just one Trump story. That's right. Trump did give. I was watching his deal a little bit earlier. But I can tell you right now, this could be actually more dangerous because now he don't have to run, right?
Right.
What kind of crazy executive orders or things are they going to try now? I don't know. Will he even make it to the end of his term? Don't know. There's always that possibility that he could resign and she could fill out the rest of his term. I mean, that's a possibility.
Is it not my imagination that all executive orders can be rescinded from the new president?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And I don't think they do that a lot. And I find that very strange why they don't, why you don't come
I know Biden's administration did. They pretty much rescinded every single one of Trump's.
True. That's true.
Yeah. But I don't think that's happened in the past. I would imagine if Trump wins, there are going to be a bunch of them gone. I mean, a bunch of them. 701 Nation, Jamie says Biden blows and Kamala sucks. Brian Warren, he did say more of the thing tonight. Yeah, he did. I noticed that too. Kamala is a threat to democracy. Well, I guess that could be said. This is, of course, like I tell everybody, this is not a democracy. This is a representative republic. With it's actually a constitutional representative republic, and I guess democracy is a one thing we can promote. But no matter how you look at it, Kamala is a threat to this nation. She's a straight out Marxist. Listen to her when she talks. She came up flat out and said that she thinks there ought to be a mandatory gun buyback, which you can't buy back something you never owned. And she talked about pretty much every gun. How the Trump campaign goes at her. I mean, there's so many avenues. I think you got to, what do you want to say? Just focus on your agenda, what you're going to do, point out the facts. If it gets, I mean, the contrast between Second Amendment isn't even close. He can beat her down on that each day, every day, all the time. And she owns everything that the Biden-Harris administration did. Now it's all hers. So this isn't going to be hard to take her out on the Second Amendment. Everything else isn't going to be hard either. But right now, when it comes to the Second Amendment, point out when she was in the Attorney General in California, she was sued twice. Yep. Second Amendment Foundation and what the citizens, I believe it was I can't remember. I think it was the citizens to right to keep and bear arms. I think that was the other organization that sued her. But she was horrible in California. She loved what Newsom's whole plan is. She don't like guns, period. Especially hates those big, black, evil AR-15s. Some of them are just horrible. And she wants to disarm the populace of the United States. Plain and simple. She don't believe in the Constitution.
No.
All these Harvard-educated lawyers, they say they support the Constitution, but their actions say completely different. And her votes in the Senate out there were horrible.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this isn't hard to defeat her policies. We have a very contrasting policy difference between Harris and Trump. And that's if she gets the nomination. And I'm not convinced that that's going to necessarily happen without a fight. We shall see, though. We shall see. What's your take
Oh,
on
there'll be some dissenters on that. I think she's going to get it because
She might.
the money people are throwing their money behind it, and you know that's and with that they're also you know as well as I do is that um, they're already doing some threatening in the back rooms and whatnot for the people
Well,
that are raising their hands asking questions. You know, this is not one of those situations where they want anybody asking questions because look what happened when everybody didn't back down and they kept asking questions about Joe. Well, it finally boiled down. I mean, I went to sleep for a little while in the van on the way back from New Orleans, and I woke up and found out that he had backed out of the race.
yeah.
So I was like, "What the heck happened? How long have I been asleep?" And I was like, "Oh, geez."
Well,
That's
you know what happened.
that's how he normally wakes up too. How long have I
Yeah.
been asleep?
Oh, yeah. And where am I? What am I doing? Who am I? Anyway, right now, Biden went in Friday going, I'm not quitting. I'm not
quitting.
stepping down. And then by Sunday, yeah, I'm done. So yeah, there was some it was a little more than arm twisting. There was some deals made.
I read a couple of
some
stories from
coercion.
different articles that said that he was threatened,
I'm
even
sure he was.
from Obama, that people were going to issue the 25th Amendment on him because that he is not in his right mind to be running the country, and he's shown that.
He showed it again tonight.
Yeah. So I mean, he is just not there. And hey, I gotta say, whether it was your candidate or my candidate, if he got up and acted like that, I'd be worried that guy's got the nuclear football, and yet he don't know who he is or where he is half the time.
If we had a guy like that, of course, we wouldn't put a guy like that in on our side. We just wouldn't have done it. But let's say we didn't know, and he developed this after we elected him. I'm talking our guy.
Well,
we would have been calling for his resignation.
I think that there was a lot of things covered up. We learned a lot about
Biden's
Reagan.
Been bad
about Reagan. We learned about Reagan in the later years. He was starting to lose it. Now, did his handlers take care of most everything? Yeah, they did. But
hey, Gene,
still worries me.
I see you're listening tonight. Stay on tonight. I hope you can stay on the whole evening. We're gonna show you a video later on of a gun. We're gonna put this out to everybody. I was hoping you were watching, and if you can tell us what it is, because I have no clue. So stay tuned.
Yeah, we'll stay tuned for this one because I was thinking about you when I found this. I was like, oh, I have no idea what this thing is. Anyway, so yeah, we'll go through that.
I liked what Brian said. He said, since that was her people protesting today, and she is now an insurrectionist also because she didn't tell them to stand down. And that's another thing. So I heard I had to tune into some liberal dribble, and they were making a big thing that J.D. Vance didn't go to the joint congressional speech by Netanyahu. I can't even say his damn name. Netanyahu.
Oh yeah.
Well, okay, there's a big difference. He actually had a campaign rally, an actual event happening, so he wasn't going to make it. Kamala claimed she did, but she knew that he was coming long before this, so that should have been on her. And all she did was go and talk to some black sorority people, on a college. She could have been there, but her schedule takes her after this?
Where?
Dearborn, Michigan. So how could she can't go meet with him when you're going to go into the heart of the Muslim Mecca, the mega center in Michigan.
Dearborn.
And that is Dearborn. So that was going to be problematic for her. So she didn't do it. Plus she doesn't freaking have any respect for Israel, I'm pretty sure. She probably wants the Jewish people wiped off the face of the earth. Who knows?
I want to talk about the stuff going on outside DC today. Of course, I'm going to get one more thing uploaded here real quick, and then I'm going to talk about that. There was watching the crowd out there. You talk about these, and these are Americans protesting out there in the Palestinian colors and all this other crap that I'm just like going, why are you? Anyway, so this is one of the pictures that I got from that today.
Allah gathering
all the Zionists for the final solution.
Wow.
All right.
Wow.
That's
and they call us the Nazis.
Yeah. So and God, one nation. There we go. And it's the wrong one. And this is the crowd that is out there right now, in Washington, D.C. And
funded by Iran.
Now, if my college kid was out there in that, I guarantee you I'd be dragging them back all the way back to South Dakota by their ear, because there's no freaking way that I'm going to let you go in front of these freaking, I mean, yeah, everything they say we are, they are. And it baffles me. It totally baffles me. But I had to show those pictures real quick. So
Yeah, no, that's and they're funded by Iran. You know what I found interesting today? I was listening. I believe that's a Charlie Kirk show, and they were talking about how Iran was actually broke under Trump. They had like $4 billion or $4 million. It wasn't much money
at
for a country.
operating capital for a country, right? Yeah.
And now they have 250. And that's, well, Biden came in. Whoever's handling Biden, they lifted all the sanctions. They let them start selling their oil. They sell their oil to our enemies. Like he shipped over the things of cash, literally cash of theirs, unfroze their assets, and boom. Now look what we got going. And they figure most of these things that are happening, like you just had pictures, they're being funded because that money's being funneled into these college campuses
Right.
for protests against America, essentially, and from our enemy. Nice job, Biden. Nice job. And Harris will be no different. I think we got to put this.
Remember, that's the same policies that they're touting that they did such a good job at. And I'm like going,
11 C1 pieces. If Camel Hole chooses booty juice for VP, we were just talking about their bumper stickers could read Harry Butt 2024. I love that. Funny.
Ouch.
I don't think it'll be him. I really don't. I tell you right now, as much as the Democrats and the libs think people have accepted gays, they have not. They just have not. And they are not going to vote for a gay man as a VP. It's not going to happen. She's got her own problems anyway. She don't need that. And I think it's interesting, as DEI as they are. By the way, the liberal media is having a freaking fit because many of us are calling her the DEI candidate, and that's racist.
Well, I saw Johnson today was trying to tell people on the floor and all that he wants them to stop saying that type of stuff. And I'm like dude, you're in charge of the damn party. Yeah,
but she is. She was a DEI hire. She was a piss poor one. She wasn't qualified. She sucked at her job, literally, and she's no good at it. So, there's just absolutely no reason that she should even be qualified to be the president. And she's not. And she's not going to. I tell you what, if Trump debates her, it'll be interesting. I hope he does it on his grounds and his rules this time. There's no reason to concede anything to these people.
No.
None whatsoever. So Dave says they voted for Obama. Well, basically, that's exactly what happened. We have Obama the third term happening.
Obama, did you say the third or the turd?
Well, both. Gene Cox, he's got up here. His first act was to stop the Keystone Pipeline. Yep, that drove up oil prices and killed the middle class. And Iranians are selling oil at $80 plus. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
We're buying our oil now from our adversaries again. We were pretty much independent. It's even less than that. So he puts up here, gays make up less than 10% of the population. It's actually less than that. But everyone's supposed to pander to them. We're supposed to be minority rights, but majority rule, but it's all upside down. You're absolutely right. I've never understood it. It actually, depending on it's anywhere between 1% and 5%. And I really don't care about their views. They got a mental illness. That's my take on it. And I'm not going to portray that. I'm not going to enable that. Never have, never will. I just morally, to me, it's wrong. Yes, I go on the moral aspect. But if you ever want to debate with one, ask them how it can be something that is sustainable, being gay, being they can't reproduce. Throw religion out of it. If it's so natural, then why on earth can't they reproduce? Because they would eventually die out, right? So it's not natural. It can't be natural. And there's only two. There's a man and a woman. That's it. Period. There's none of these other genders, which it used to be called sex, but they
identify as an attack helicopter. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Keith O'Donnell, he's chiming in. He says the whole Harris campaign will be everything sexist and racist. You're right. They're going to play those two cards very, very, very hard. Yeah, I know. I've seen that too, the 20-year thing, but it's hard to say because some people say it, some don't. But I've heard anywhere 1 to 5. Who knows? It don't really matter because I don't. So I don't know this. Dems need to name a Veep soon because they'll need to reprint 1 million mail-in ballots. That's true. That's very true. some salty cities over the years. Yeah. So, well, I'll tell you what. We're going to come back to this, but I think we ought to thank some sponsors. It's coming up on about 20 after. We're going to try to probably keep this, I don't know, around an hour, a little over. That sounds good, Mike?
We'll try for that day. We got a bunch of stuff still to talk about. We doing a double ad or a triple, or what are we doing right now?
What's that? I didn't
double ad, ad, triple ad.
Yep.
I got to work on my new microphone and where the sweet spot
Go ahead and go
is.
for the double ad.
The double ad? All right. Yep. All right. We'll go for that and be right back.
I'm from the Athlete's Foot Foundation.
Brother, hey, can you get my demo tape to somebody?
Lauer Auto Repair, located at 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota. Give them a call at 701-258-6308. The team of mechanics at Lauer Auto can take care of any problem your vehicle is having. And when you do business with Lauer, you can be assured you're doing business with a pro Second Amendment America First repair shop. There are plenty of other auto repair shops in the Bismarck-Mandan area. But why take a chance at patronizing a shop that might not have your beliefs at heart? Make no mistake. Lauer Auto is your pro Second Amendment repair shop. When you talk to the guys at Lauer Auto, don't forget to tell them that you heard they are a sponsor of Guns and the 701 and that you appreciate their support of our pro Second Amendment, pro North Dakota live stream and podcast. That's Lauer Auto Repair, 701-258-6308. 701-258-6308. Located 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota.
Experience the exhilaration of power in your hands at Bloodline Kinetics. Why Cerakote? Simply, it aids in firearm preservation while also giving your piece a unique look. Barrel threading, NFA laser engraving, bolt handle threading, mount, level, and bore, sight scope chamber rebarreling, and much more. Bloodline Kinetics is meant to reflect a long American lineage in gun ownership, who stand for the Second Amendment rights, Bloodline, and the science behind gun accuracy, Kinetics. To some, it's just a constitutional right that can go away. To us, it's in our American bloodline, and we believe it should stay that way. Here at Bloodline Kinetics, we understand that hunters, sportsmen, women, and gun owners should have a quality firearm. Stop and see us at 2008 Morrison Avenue 2 in Bismarck, North Dakota, 58504, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Call 701-390-7997. Visit our website, bloodlinekinetics.com.
And we are back. Oh, we still have that up there.
Oh, sorry about that.
Okay.
There we go. Hey, there we go.
All right. I did like that.
I was looking at something else and totally missed that it was still up there. So
they mentioned this about a church that evidently burned up in Dallas. Looks like it was First Baptist Church, a very historic church. I guess they don't know much about it. They don't know what caused it. I couldn't tell you myself, but yeah. So
that was happening, I think, last Sunday or Saturday. I was driving still, so yeah.
Well, it does look like we are broadcasting the Fascist-book, so that's working. Jamie wasn't sure that one was going to be working tonight, so yeah, it looks like that's happening. So that's good, I guess. And we are over on Rumble, Twitch, all them good other spots. I don't know why Twitter ain't working, and it's too bad because we had it working so well.
Yeah, and then people were watching too. We had a ton of people, so that was great. So
we will be working on that. I don't know why, for whatever reason, it's not sending the data tonight. I don't know if I have to redo it again. We had to get verified, get our little blue check, so there might be some bugs to work through there. I don't.
So I guess we've got our crack team from what is it? What's the word? Bajimi? I say. What's the name of that town you got somewhere out there? Bajimini? I can't remember. I was trying to come up with a town that we could make our headquarters for our IT people, but Bimiji or Bimiji
out here?
Yeah,
What is
or
it?
it's over in Minnesota, I think, but it's Bemidji.
Bemidji's over in Minnesota.
Yeah, there you go. I don't know. I know how it's spelled, and I know how it's pronounced. I don't know.
We have Moorhead and Dickinson.
I was trying to figure out a good one in North Dakota, but I couldn't come up with the top of my head. So
Gene says, "Sorry, I had to take a call. Did I miss the video? Not yet." So
not yet.
I'm gonna go a little bit more on this Harris thing, and then if you want to add something. Basically, Kamala Harris she's a Marxist. If you haven't know anything about Karl Marx, listen to what she says. I mean, she is straight out. She's worse than Biden. I know it sounds horrible, or possible, but she is worse than Biden. She hates guns. She hasn't seen a gun law she doesn't love. This is why it's problematic if Biden does not finish things out. I think you would see her in that short 5 to 6 months. I think she would use the pen and a paper to even restrict the firearms laws even more so, because she don't care. She don't care about us. And what's she got to lose? Think about it. What has she got to lose? She's walking in as an underdog.
Right.
She might win. She might not. So I think even in the back of her head, she knows this is a sacrificial lamb type situation. They're going to let her take the reins and run with it. And if she wins, great. If she don't, then she's done. And the party don't want her.
Right.
She's not a likable person. She polls horribly. She does not resonate with the public. Anytime you see anything that's asked about her, it's not good news for her. So they're going to put her up there, see if she can do anything. And so can you imagine if Biden steps down? What she
Well, let me give you one on that as well. Think if Biden steps down, who steps up into the vice presidency? Johnson. Right.
And not necessarily.
That takes him out of the Congress and out of the speaker's seat.
But that doesn't necessarily happen. That only happens in the presidency, when the president and the vice president, then you're Speaker of the House. That doesn't necessarily have to. They don't even have to fill the position.
Really? Okay. I was thinking they would do that and take one more person out of the.
No, the Speaker of the House only moves up for the presidency. I'd have to. I'll tell you what. When we go on that next break, I'll pull my Constitution out and look at it. But that is the succession, and then it goes down there. There's cabinet members and things like that. But yeah, there you go, Gene. I believe it can be appointed. That's what I was thinking. And I don't think they even have to, because there's still a succession there. Right. So if you have another lame duck president step in, well, if they don't appoint one, then it would by default go to the Speaker of the House. But you're right; they wouldn't want that, because then anything happened to her.
That would weaken us in the House and take so because he would have literally nothing to say or do. By the way, one of my biggest fears is that, of course, I think one of the two. You're right. I don't think they're going to do Buttigieg at all. I think it's too polarizing.
I think butt plugs out. I don't
even
think
for the left, but. The Mark Kelly thing bugs me tremendously, because that's going to be, you talk about a double-fisted anti-gun, thing. I mean, normally you get presidents and vice presidents that aren't exactly towing the line hand in hand, but they both are. They're both towing that pretty hard. So I worry about it.
So David Young, he chimes in here. He says, the homeboys and girls down here in Atlanta love that Kamala's running. I'm sure they do. Do you know, though, were they voting for Trump? And anyway, I would bet not. So this doesn't change the voting aspect. I imagine those that are going to love her running probably were going to vote Biden and hold their nose even if they didn't like him, because I don't believe for a minute, especially after being down in Atlanta here earlier this spring, there's not a lot of Trump fans down there to begin with. No. Well, I probably wore my Trump gear, but I felt pretty confident I could protect myself.
One thing that you mentioned earlier, which I was kind of thinking about as well, is talking about. I had it in my head and it kind of disappeared. Kamala, of course, and Mark Kelly. I mean, that's going to be a bad thing. You talk about that. And of course, he's the wife of Kathy Gifford or whatever her name is, or
he's the husband, but yeah, but he can call him the wife. He acts like
whatever.
Whatever. I mean, he's a freaking soy boy, right?
Yeah, and he is, but it's fine.
Yeah. He's married to Gabby Giffords, and of course, they started the anti-gun group, and that's after she got shot in the head. Then he become an anti-gunner. So. Yeah, that'd be interesting too, because I believe he is a sitting senator right now, if I remember
Right now,
correctly.
yes.
So that's problematic too. They'll
Right?
pull another one out of the Senate, a Democrat. So that could be interesting. So getting back to the Gene, there's a couple of comments here. Ford's the only president to have not been elected. That's true. He was appointed to fill the VP, and then Nixon resigned, leaving him president.
Right.
Exactly. And then it was mentioned here that until he ran for president on his own in '76, nobody voted for Ford for president or VP. So true. Again, I don't think there's anything that says, though, they have to fill that because there's already a line of succession. So say Biden resigns, Harris moves up. I imagine they will appoint somebody, but I don't think they have to. I mean, you're looking at 5 months. The only thing that would scare them is that if something happened to Harris, then Speaker Johnson would take it. If there's no vice president, Johnson takes it because he's the next person in succession. It's never happened. I keep telling everybody, I hope these government teachers all across the schools in the public indoctrination centers are watching. This is historical times in our nation for a lot of reasons. But what we're seeing happen right now with sitting presidents not running again, possibly resigning, this stuff hasn't happened in over 50 years. Johnson was the last one to not run again. And
right. And that was before the convention. So, I mean, it was way before, though, months before. So we're waiting to see what's all going to happen. I don't know how long we're going to have to wait. When is their convention anyway? Is it
August? It's coming up in August. I don't even know. I don't pay attention.
It's not on your calendar.
It's not on my calendar.
Not on your to-do
I'll
list.
tell you what, I will do a quick search.
Yeah, it's just in the meantime,
from Brave, because I don't Google nothing.
Right.
August 19th to the 22nd. So just about, not quite a month away.
Okay.
A little over, I guess. If you go to 19th to 22nd, it's 24th of July. So within about a month. So yeah, that's where we're at. Oh, Carrie, good to have you joining in. Charlie Kirk earlier today said, reliable sources confirmed to Trump 2024 senior advisor Chris LaSavita. Okay. That Kamala will pick Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro. And I know that's been put out there a lot. He's not exactly a friend to us either. So
no, he doesn't have as the controversy as much as the rest of them do, though. So
we're talking running mate now. We're not talking if Biden steps down. That's what we're talking. If Biden steps down and she moves up to president, will she appoint, or will there be an appointment of vice president? Don't know. Could be. Manchin is rejoining the Democrats either to grab delegates or to be the vice.
Oh, jeez. Just go away.
Oh, my goodness. So they probably won't pick him because he's a Jew. There's an interesting aspect, and I knew that too. Or they're going to pick him to try and grab that vote, which I don't think you can fool them to. Again, I really don't. It's going to be interesting. All I know is that no matter who comes out of the DNC convention, they're going to be anti-gun. They're definitely going to hate the Constitution, and they need to be defeated. It's that simple.
Yeah. So, I mean, it comes down to it. It's like we knew that it needed to be defeated anyway. But the thing about it is even more so now because Joe apparently, can be handled. It's his handlers that are doing everything anyway. So now we're going to see a totally new power dynamic in there. And like you said, we don't know exactly who will be running everything. So at least with Trump, exactly who's in the seat. So that's one of those things.
So the question was asked by Gene, is there a Democrat that is pro-gun? Well, I know there's some state legislators that are in some states, but I don't think that really matters much, does. So I kind of did a quick search. A guy by the name of Jared Golden, he's a Democrat representative from Maine, and he voted against that full gun package in 2022,
right?
But only citing concerns about the bill's sweeping nature and lack of bipartisan support. He also expressed support for individual gun rights and criticized the leadership's handling of gun legislation. So maybe. You got a Democrat representative from Oregon, Kurt Schrader. He voted against that full package in 2022, citing similar concerns as Golden, but he has a mixed record on the gun issues, but has expressed some support for gun rights measures. So he'd be maybe
There are certain parts of Oregon that are
Yep.
pretty strong to the right. So, yeah.
Alyssa Slotkin, she's a Democrat representative from Michigan. She voted against the 2022 bill. She cited frustration with the Democrat leadership's handling of the issues, expressed support for some of the measures, but acknowledged the importance of responsible gun ownership. So that's she's not pro-gun.
No.
When they say stuff like that, I mean, that's like the key word. So,
Right.
and I would say it's got to be pretty darn tough for a Democrat to be pro-gun. Now, we've seen it here in the Dakotas.
Mm-hmm.
We saw it both with Stephanie Herseth in South Dakota. We saw it with Heidi Heitkamp in North Dakota. And Heidi Heitkamp voted for a lot of pro-gun measures until she knew she wasn't going to win again. Then she flipped
Then
her
she
cord.
jumped. Yeah.
Same with Stephanie Herseth. It was like they allowed them to vote. Tom Daschle did the same thing. He would vote pro-gun because he was kind of allowed to, because he, from South Dakota, they figured they needed to keep him in there, especially when he was the Senate minority and the majority. Remember, he served in both capacities.
Yeah, he was up there.
And we unseated him as a majority leader, which was very bittersweet. I'll never forget watching those polls come in down in Rapid City with the Pennington County Republicans. That was a blast that night.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, are there any, Gene? I don't know if there's any true ones. There could be. There used to be a guy in Montana that was pretty pro-gun, but he wasn't like this. He wasn't a whack job Democrat like most of them are now.
Well, you get a lot of them that want to say, what's the girl that was just running up in North Dakota a little while ago that was all about my shotgun and this and that, and she's
talking about Kara Mund.
Yeah,
she's a FUD.
Yeah, but all about it. I'm going to go ahead and say this, but it's not what I feel. It's not what I am. It's just what I want to do to try to fool everybody. And that's what they try to do. They try to fool everybody. Uninformed voters, there should be a separate line for Democrats, Republicans, and uninformed voters. And I bet you that uninformed voters is the longest damn line.
I was listening to a show this morning while I was in the tractor, and guy called in and he goes, I don't understand. He says, you know what? He says, I don't want everybody to vote. If you're not informed, I don't want you voting. And I've said that before. If you're not informed, don't vote. And of course, the host of that show, he's like, well, I disagree. I think it's a fundamental. Everyone gets to vote. True. Everybody can vote. But if you're not informed, why are you voting?
Why are you voting?
And it's just, and I even take it a step farther. If you do not own property, you should never vote in a school election.
True.
Especially on a measure that's going to raise property taxes. You don't have that right, because you want to fund your schools with property taxes, then only property owners should get the vote. Why should you get to spend their money? And that's a whole nother that's a whole nother rabbit hole. Let's get some of these comments here. Here's one from 11C. There used to be quite a few pro-gun congressmen. Most were FUDs, though. Exactly. Hey, Jay Titan. Hey, good to see you. Yeah, he says, Clay, my brother, how have you been? By the way, can someone answer me truthfully? How did Biden beat Trump for the presidency, but now has to drop out for re-election? Well, I think we all know them 81 million votes weren't really there, were they? Congress people. Yeah, you know what? You don't have to worry about the Democrat Congress people. I'm not politically correct. They're all congressmen to me, and that's how I dress them, and I don't really care who I piss off. Brian Warner, I think this whole dope show, is just an attempt to curtail the momentum of Trump after the shooting at the convention. The news sure shifted that way fast. Yes, you know what? I've had that same thought, Brian. Like he gained a lot of sympathy. He really did. And he was consuming the news cycle, and they couldn't have that. They couldn't have any kind of positivity or remorse for President Trump. For the
scanning the radio dials doing down the New Orleans last week, scanning the radio dials left and right. It was amazing. Both left and right channels were really commenting on the picture of Trump, with the fist raised and everything like that. That is probably one of the more iconic pictures that we have come up in this century. It's one of the most iconic pictures. Yeah. And you talk about when you see pictures, from the past, that one right there is going to be in the history books. That one is going to be.
This picture, whoever captured that, I think it was a CBS reporter, or maybe it was an AP reporter. I mean, he just, with the flag behind and him doing that at that moment, that picture is going to be one of the most iconic pictures of this time period.
Right.
You know, like so many we've seen. It's just whether they like it or not, it's going to be.
Yeah.
Because it is. It's pretty cool, really. When I first seen it, I was like, oh, that is just outstanding. Whoever got that, that's a money shot right there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, okay. Oh yeah, she's a Harvard grad. Yeah, she's a Harvard grad. Woohoo, you know. But you know they're going to put that out there. You know, she's Harvard educated. Well, then she's really dumb because she went and spent all that money on a degree and she's still stupid.
Yeah.
Just because people can read books and get a nice degree does not make them smart. One shot. Hey, good to have you with. Good evening. They're still finding votes for Biden, though. They probably are. He says, I think if you've never served in the military, you shouldn't be able to vote or run for office. Well, not probably a bad idea, but that ain't how the Constitution is written. So unless you change it, constitutional amendment, then I guess that ain't going to happen.
I've seen that written in a lot of different things, though. I mean,
have too.
matter of fact, yeah, some pretty big, I guess you might say, science fiction books have portrayed that. Starship Troopers played that as like, you know, you had to have service
To be
in
a
order
citizen.
to be a citizen. So that was
Yeah.
a big. I'll tell you what. After that movie, I turned around and looked to see if there was a recruiter at the back door because that's they should have been set up there. That was
It was a good
amazing.
movie. But yeah, that movie has a lot of what the Democrats want in there.
Mhm.
Except they're fighting aliens. Well, we're fighting illegal aliens.
We're fighting
We just don't get to
aliens,
kill
too,
them
but-
yet. But
Oh, ouch.
all right, wasn't written about landowners either. Actually, that was kind of the founding. There was
Yeah.
a lot of that goes back before our Constitution with landowners and voting and tax. I mean, it just did. Now that wasn't the final product, but go back in history, you'll find that a lot of it was based on having land. It really
Right.
was. That, you know, pre-Constitution.
Right.
So let's see. Jean Cox, she is descended from Haitian slave traders. You talking about Kamala?
Yeah.
Okay, it could be. I
No,
can
she is.
tell you,
She is.
I just said that 11C. I said it wasn't in the Constitution. I said that it was based before that. Go back to the complete founding when they first started coming over here, and how the rights of landowners actually trumped a lot of things. And if you notice, they did not put that in the Constitution because they thought all people had a right, and that's
Mhm.
how that came about. But yeah,
Now, maybe if our founding fathers knew that we would have such an uninformed voter count, maybe you know,
maybe they would have enshrined it in
maybe
the
they would have enshrined
Constitution.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, I got a copy too. I keep one here, but I've got mine memorized. So anyway, as far as her being Haitian descent, I don't know, Gene. I know she's not fully black. That's why, remember, we've never had a full black president yet. Obama was half white. And I don't know what Kamala is. She
What
looks
about
like
Bill
a mutt.
Clinton?
Bill
that-
Clinton?
Bill Clinton, was it?
He's the first black president, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that what they called him?
Yeah, that's what it was.
So, tell you what, we're coming up here quarter 2. Why don't we give a little thanks to our sponsors and pay some bills? Let's do the quadruple one, and we'll come back on the other side, and maybe we'll get into our badass of the week, something like that.
All right, badass of the week. We'll try to have that come up, and then we'll have that good thing for Gene too
Yes,
as well. Here
Absolutely.
we go.
All right.
Lauer Auto Repair, located at 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota.
Give them a call at 701-258-6308.
The team of mechanics at Lauer Auto can take care of any problem your vehicle is having. And when you do business with Lauer, you can be assured you're doing business with a pro Second Amendment America First repair shop. There are plenty of other auto repair shops in the Bismarck-Mandan area. But why take a chance at patronizing a shop that might not have your beliefs at heart? Make no mistake.
no mistake.
Lauer Auto is your pro Second Amendment repair shop. When you talk to the guys at Lauer Auto, don't forget to tell them that you heard they are a sponsor of Guns and the 701 and that you appreciate their support of our pro Second Amendment, pro North Dakota live stream and podcast. That's Lauer Auto Repair, 701-258-6308.
701-258-6308.
Located 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota.
Experience the exhilaration of power in your hands at Bloodline Kinetics. Why Cerakote? Simply, it aids in firearm preservation while also giving your piece a unique look. Barrel threading, NFA laser engraving, bolt handle threading, mount, level, and bore, sight scope chamber rebarreling, and much more. Bloodline Kinetics is meant to reflect a long American lineage in gun ownership, who stand for the Second Amendment rights, Bloodline, and the science behind gun accuracy. Kinetics. To some, it's just a constitutional right that can go away. To us, it's in our American bloodline, and we believe it should stay that way. Here at Bloodline Kinetics, we understand that hunters, sportsmen, women, and gun owners should have a quality firearm. Stop and see us at 2008 Morrison Avenue 2 in Bismarck, North Dakota, 58504, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Call 701-390-7997. Visit our website, bloodlinekinetics.com.
Ever tried catching a fish with your bare hands or hunting a deer with a stick? Don't be that guy. At Mandan Sporting Goods, we've got all the hunting and camping gear you need. We're your one-stop shop for outdoor adventure.
A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed.
Check us out at mandansportinggoods.com, or better yet, stop in to 210 East Main Street, Mandan, North Dakota. Mandan Sporting Goods, where the outdoors meets functionality. Store hours, Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Closed Sunday. Take up arms at Mandan Sporting Goods. Your adventure starts here.
Looking for the best gun gear for every and any situation? Little Angry Man Arms LLC has you covered. Top-notch guns from top-name brands like Winchester, Glock, Sig Sauer, and Ruger to essential extras from Magpul's, Streamlight, Hollow, Sun Optics, and more. Little Angry Man Arms LLC have everything to make your shooting adventures a success. Visit littleangrymanarms.com today and gear up for your next big hunt, competition, or home defense. Don't miss out on our exclusive deals. Little Angry Man Arms LLC, based in Trail City, South Dakota, your ultimate hunting partner.
Yeah, hey, look, I got the moves like Michael, the flow like Aubrey, walk around thinking I'm a prince like Saudi. Mismatched Converse, t-shirts tucked in, know my worth, can't tell me nothing. White Nikes, albino, can cop my stilo, head to the top, bottom line is a motto.
And we're back. Okay,
Welcome
back, everybody. Want to remind everybody, get out there and support our great sponsors, and we can't do it without them. Lauer Auto Repair was on the board, one of the very first ones. We want to thank Axe, the guys down there, for staying with us for so long and continue supporting us. And here's the thing: you guys can get out there and get your vehicle fixed, and you know that you're supporting a great patriot and a guy who supports the Second Amendment. So right there, Lauer Auto Repair, right down there, 309 South Washington Street. 701.
And I have something for Axe. As a matter of fact, if Axe wants to branch out and open up a second location, I've got a new name for it here. Hold on. There you go. I found that today. I thought about it.
There you go, Axe. Lynette, you better show that one to him, Lynette. Better show that one to him. All right, let's get to a few of these comments again here. So Jay says, I'm really curious to see how this DNC convention is going to pan out. Who's going to be Kamala's running mate? And that's what we were talking about. I think everybody is. I really do. And Jean said that she was, she's actually Jamaican and India, like Indian from India.
Right.
That's her breed. So yeah, we call that crossbred as a cattle producer. You get that high vigor crossbreeding program. Oh yeah, we're gonna hit it all, aren't we? Not PC here.
Oh.
One shot says the real badass of the week was Trump. Let's roll America. You know what? That was badass. Get shot in the ear, almost in the head, and die, and then come up and let's fight it. That's why I got the new shirt out here. If you haven't seen those yet, I haven't posted them on the website yet, but this is what it looks like.
Oh,
do
awesome.
some tweaking of it. And I thought Ephesians 6:16 actually hit the nail on the head here. It says, above all, taking the shield of faith, wherewith ye shall be able to quench all the fury darts of the wicked. And I mean, does that hit or does that hit? I thought
awesome.
that was perfect for that. I've had a lot of comments already, and yeah, well, I'll get it up there. I want to tweak it a little bit, and yeah, I think we'll probably offer that one if anybody's interested, but let us get them on the website first. So.
Yep.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what, there's a few things we can end the show with here, but I think before we do that, I said I think we need to do the badass of the week.
Or you want to do what?
Or you want to do the?
Let's
or
do
you
what
wanna
the hell is that first for Gene.
Oh, sounds good. So Gene,
if you're there, we just do not know what this thing is. So
we know it's a shotgun.
Yeah,
I've never seen one that operated like this either. So.
Here we go. Yeah. Very somber music too. I don't understand that.
That is definitely.
To me, it just seems like it would be weak, like structurally, but I don't know. Got to have a purpose.
Yeah, I know. I've never seen one. Yeah, at first, I thought it was possibly something that didn't have the cover, a cover.
Right, that's what I thought of too. But yeah,
but it wasn't. So yeah, Gene, if you saw that, I would love to know what that is. I really would. I don't have a clue.
Yeah. So yeah, there we go. So our question of the day,
or if anybody else, let me know.
Yeah. What the hell is that? Yeah, there we go.
Are we gonna have a new segment? What the hell is this?
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, take it away, Mike, with our brand new badass of the week. We didn't get to one last week. It was a busy week.
Well, you were a little busy. You were a little busy last week.
We left it and said, no, we'll come back next week. So.
All right. Well, we got a badass going back again to the turn of last century. Again, a guy that for the Marine Corps, I've kind of done a few guys in the Marine Corps. The Marine Corps is, well, probably one of the most badass guys in there. And when you've got guys like Smedley Butler and all those guys, the big titans of the Marines, calling you a badass, well, then you've got to definitely be one. So we're going to go into Mr. Daly here real quick with our badass of the week. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to GunsInThe701.com and our Badass of the Week. That's right, every week we go deep into the history of the world and find a badass you might not have known about, but you should, because we should never forget those badasses that came before. Ladies and gentlemen, today we bring you the tale of a true American badass, Daniel Joseph Daly, a man whose courage and valor have become the stuff of legends in the annals of the United States Marine Corps. Born on November 11th, 1873 in Glen Cove, New York, Daly was a man of a slight build, standing only 5'6" tall and weighing 132 pounds wet. But don't let his size fool you. This man was a force to be reckoned with. Daly enlisted in the United States Marine Corps at the age of 25. His first posting was in the Asiatic Fleet aboard the cruiser USS Newark. In 1900, the fleet arrived in China as part of the Chinese relief expedition during the Boxer Rebellion. Now, Private Daly, along with his commanding officer, Captain Newt H. Hall, set out to reconnoiter a position at the Tartar Wall while under siege by the Boxers. A working party scheduled to follow the construct's defense never arrived. Now, Daly volunteered to hold the position while Captain Hall returned for the working party and single-handedly fought off a furious all-night Boxer attack. For his bravery and valor, Daly earned his first Medal of Honor. On March 14, 1911, Daly was garrisoned at the United States Naval Station in San Juan, Puerto Rico, when he spotted a gasoline fire that was spreading from the forecastle to the merchant schooner Springfield. Now, Daly, with a party of 9 other Marines and sailors, successfully extinguished the fire, though he spent several weeks hospitalized for severe burns. Daly received commendations from both the Secretary of the Navy and the Commandant of the Marine Corps for his actions.
At the outbreak of the Battle of Veracruz on April 21st, 1914, Sergeant Daly landed in Veracruz, Mexico, with a combined force of 1,200 U.S. Marines and sailors. Now, the American objective was to seize the port and customs house to prevent a shipment of German weapons, 200 machine guns, and 15 million rounds of ammunition, potentially to be used against the United States, from reaching the shore. What? The Mexican government helping out our enemies? Say it isn't so. The ensuing battle saw intense street fighting, and the day after landing, Daly's platoon was pinned down in Arroyo, facing heavy sniper fire from a rooftop. Now, Daly covertly crawled out of a ditch, entered the building from the rear, and killed its entire 7-man garrison. 5 by rifle fire, and 2 by bayonet, up close and personal. By the end of the day, the Americans had captured the city. Daly earned his second Medal of Honor in Haiti, with the U.S. Marines supporting the Haitian government in a fight against the Caicos insurgents. On the night of October 24th, 1915, during the Battle of Fort Dipty, Gunnery Sergeant Daly was on a mounted patrol in the jungle, commanding one of the 3 squadrons detached from the 15th Company 2nd Marine Regiment under the command of Major Smedley Butler. The Marines were ambushed by a force of some 400 Caicos while crossing a river, and the horse carrying their machine gun was killed, its carcass sinking into the riverbed. With the battle raging throughout the night, Daly repeatedly dived into the bottom of the river and into the darkness until he located the horse, freed the machine gun from its restraints, and carried the 200 pounds of weaponry a mile back to the Marines' position. At daybreak, the rearmed Marines regrouped and routed the Caicos, capturing Fort Dipty. Perhaps the most famous moment in Daly's career came during World War I at the Battle of Belleau Woods. It was there that he said to have yelled, pretty much his famous saying, "Come on, you sons of bitches, do you want to live forever?" as he charged into battle against the Germans. At the outbreak of the Battle of Belleau Woods, June 1st, 1918, Daly's regiment was placed in a gap in the line left by the French 43rd Division, with the intent to stop the Germans' advance towards Paris. The Marines drove back an attack by the Germans' 28th Division on June 2nd. On June 5th, a German shell landed in a munitions dump at Lucy-le-Bocage, starting a fire. Daly quickly led a party from his company into the flames to extinguish the blaze, preventing the arsenal from exploding. Because that's what Marines do. They run into the fire, not from it. On June 6th, the Marines went on the offensive. The Germans were entrenched in the forest, separated from the Marines by 400 yards of open wheat field, facing 1,200 Germans with 200 machine guns. The 73rd Company was pinned down by intense fire. As the Marines took cover at nightfall, Daly walked openly to each of his machine gun positions, inspiring the men and coordinating their defense. On June 10th, a German machine gun unit advanced close to Daly's position. Daly immediately charged the weapon himself, destroying it with 3 grenades, shot the unit's commanding officer with his .45 caliber pistol, and took its remaining 14 soldiers prisoner. As the battle raged later in the day, Daly exposed himself to enemy fire while evacuating the wounded. For his actions from June 5th through the 10th, Daly was awarded a Navy Cross, the Army's Distinguished Service Cross, and the French Médaille Militaire. Daly later fought in the Battle of Saint-Mihiel and the Battle of Blancmont Ridge. His final campaign was the Meuse-Argonne Offensive. By the war's end, he had suffered a bullet wound in the shoulder, 2 shrapnel wounds in the leg, and after serving in the American occupation forces in Germany, Daly left active duty for the United States Marine Corps Reserve in 1919 and officially retired on February 6, 1929 at the rank of Sergeant Major. Daly's legacy lives on in the Marine Corps and in the hearts of all those who value courage and honor. His medals of honor are on display at the National Museum of the Marine Corps in Triangle, Virginia. As we remember Daniel Daly, let us strive to embody the values that he stood for: courage, honor, and an unwavering commitment to duty. For in the words of General John A. Lejeune, Daly was the outstanding Marine of all time. Daly's early life was humble. He was born to Irish immigrants and worked as a newsboy before enlisting in the Marine Corps. His decision to enlist was driven by a desire to see the world and serve his country. After the war, Daly returned to the United States and continued to serve in the Marine Corps until his retirement in 1929. Even in retirement, Daly remained a staunch advocate for the Marine Corps and often spoke at public events about his experiences. Daniel Daly passed away on April 27, 1937, but his spirit, his courage, and his dedication to duty live on. The life and adventures of Daniel Daly are a testament to the courage, honor, and commitment that defines the United States Marine Corps. His story serves as an inspiration to all those who hear it, and a reminder of the sacrifices made by those who serve our country. Daniel Joseph Daly, a true American badass. We thank everybody for joining us for GunsInThe701.com and our Badass of the Week. Every week we try to go into history and find some badass out there you need to know about. And to do so, well, we need your suggestions. You can always drop us a line at our emails at guns@GunsInThe701.com. That's guns@GunsInThe701.com. You see that big QR code up there in the corner? Yep, that's how you help us out if you can. You can click on that and make a donation. Any amount will be great. We need to keep our equipment up to date. Also, nowadays programs are all on subscription basis, so we always have to update those as well and make payments here and there, and it's just an ongoing thing. It's always, like I need to tell you, there's always a bill for something, right? Also, don't forget to go to GunsInThe701.com. You can check out our merch that we have on the store as well. And also, while you're there, you can check out the back catalog for GunsInThe701.com, our weekly Wednesday show on all our platforms. Also, you can check out 701 Nation. Jamie's show is on the back catalog there as well. And our back catalog for Badass of the Week. We appreciate everybody for tuning in. And remember, as my buddy Clay always says, keep your powder dry. And stay safe, you bunch of badasses.
Wow, another job well done, Mike.
How'd you like that one? That was pretty good.
I thought that was really good. I will tell you, I had to sneak and watch it last week. I thought it was pretty good. So, Gene, so a couple things. Gene says he has no idea. He says it looks like a Browning A5 without a cover. That's what I was thinking, but I'm not sure, Gene. That's the only thing that came to mind too. So you've stumped us all.
Like I said, I don't know if it's purposeful or if it's something else, but yeah, it's weird.
Dave says, I'm referencing the video. That looks way worse than Grand Thumb. If you don't know what that is, shoot one, you'll know. Gene Cox says, Marine Corps at Bellowwood retreat. Hell, we just got here.
Yeah,
it's about right, isn't
awesome.
it? So no, Brian says, good one, Mike. It is, and it is. It's a great segment. So congrats, it was a great job. I think I figured out the Twitter thing. Maybe I'll have it fixed by Friday when we go live with.
Awesome.
Speaking of Friday, I will be solo on Friday with Todd Mitchell on Mitchell in the Morning. So just so everybody knows. But hey, we'll have a good show. I'm not afraid. I can handle it.
I'm not afraid.
So, and I know that we're going to be talking about a few things. I know one of them is going to be that RNC thing and basically how anti-gun stuff did not get to take place in Wisconsin. That's going to be one we're going to talk about. So, all right. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's take one quick ad. Let's go thank our two top headliners, and then we'll come back. Probably wrap this up with a few things and our armed citizen and call it a night.
Okay. So what are we doing? Double ad, you say?
Yep.
Double ad. All right. What are we gonna do?
Have you ever gotten a Snapchat from a girl?
Nope. Anyway, watch this.
I'm from the Athlete's Foot Bandit.
Brother. Hey, can you get my demo tape to somebody?
Lauer Auto Repair, located at 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota. Give them a call at 701-258-6308. The team of mechanics at Lauer Auto can take care of any problem your vehicle is having. And when you do business with Lauer, you can be assured you're doing business with a pro Second Amendment America First repair shop. There are plenty of other auto repair shops in the Bismarck-Mandan area. But why take a chance at patronizing a shop that might not have your beliefs at heart? Make no mistake.
no mistake.
Lauer Auto is your pro Second Amendment repair shop. When you talk to the guys at Lauer Auto, don't forget to tell them that you heard they are a sponsor of Guns and the 701 and that you appreciate their support of our pro Second Amendment, pro North Dakota live stream and podcast. That's Lauer Auto Repair, 701-258-6308. 701-258-6308. Located 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota.
Experience the exhilaration of power in your hands at Bloodline Kinetics. Why Cerakote? Simply, it aids in firearm preservation while also giving your piece a unique look. Barrel threading, NFA laser engraving, bolt handle threading, mount, level, and bore, sight scope chamber, rebarreling, and much more. Bloodline Kinetics is meant to reflect a long American lineage in gun ownership, who stand for the Second Amendment rights, Bloodline, and the science behind gun accuracy. Kinetics. To some, it's just a constitutional right that can go away. To us, it's in our American bloodline, and we believe it should stay that way. Here at Bloodline Kinetics, we understand that hunters, sportsmen, women, and gun owners should have a quality firearm. Stop and see us at 2008 Morrison Avenue 2 in Bismarck, North Dakota, 58504, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Call 701-390-7997. Visit our website, bloodlinekinetics.com.
And we are back again, thanks to our sponsors. They what keeps this baby rolling. And like Mike explained, there's always a bill somewhere for this.
There's always a bill. Always something.
Always
now we got a blue check mark on our Twitter account as well. So when we get that running, it'll be good.
Yeah, I think I figured it out. But like I said, I hope I'll have it up and running by Friday. I'll test it out here a little bit later. I think I know what happened to it. So and you know what? I am new to X, Twitter, whatever it is. So I think it's going to be a pretty good platform and probably hopefully be our backup when we know we're about positive that we will be next on YouTube. They haven't gotten to us yet because a lot of people are losing them if you do anything with guns.
I think they're probably in the A, B, and C right now. They haven't gotten to G yet. So
yeah. So anyway, I'll tell you what, Mike. Let's go ahead and play our armed citizen. And kind of show we have a video, remember?
That's right. We have our store owner. That's right. So I can play that for you here real quick and we can talk a little bit.
Yeah. Kind of go over it.
Hey, here's here.
He shot my arm! How about that?
I don't know what's worse, to try to commit a crime like that or to cry like a bitch. Anyway, there's the guy.
He's pointing the gun directly at me. It was a half second, 3/4 of a second. I'm not going to wait.
There you go.
Oh, man. Oh, you got to love that.
Yep.
I just did what I had to do. I would always protect my employees, my customers, myself.
There you go.
This instance, fortunately, I was here by myself, so I only had to worry about that. I took care of it.
He took care of that. Was that?
He took care of it, and that was that. And he's absolutely right. There you go. And it's just another one of those cases where you're like,
where do you think this happened at? Of all the states, anybody have a clue? It'll probably shock you where that took place.
No, it won't shock me. It's going to be California, isn't it?
It was California, Norco, California. It's kind of funny. He owns this little store. His name's Craig Cope. He owns the Norco Market and Liquor. And this incident took place about 2:45 a.m. on a Sunday morning. There was actually 4 suspects that came in here. They were driving a black BMW SUV. Really? So you're gonna go?
Well,
out.
Hey, wait a minute. You said 4, but there's only 3.5 now.
Yeah, because he literally
blew my arm off. Yeah, there you go.
Happened in the Clark Avenue area, the block of Clark Avenue out in Norco. The suspect ran out of the store. The surveillance video from outside the establishment showed a second suspect inside the black SUV exiting the vehicle, also armed. On their way back to the getaway car, the suspect he heard shouting, "He shot my arm off." The store owner, later identified as Craig Cope, he suffered a heart attack from this incident after it happened. He was in the hospital. He was treated and released and was recovering, but it actually gave him a heart attack the way it sounded.
Well, you know what? And that should be one of those charges they put against those guys, because I mean, you were contributing to that man's ailment. So there you go.
I like what some of the customers said. Some of the customers of this business, and they, it's kind of a small town for California. And then one guy says, "Wrong town to try and rob. Norco is a cowboy town. You have people riding horses, and you should know that they definitely own guns. F around and find out." Hey, Axe knows all about that. He has a crossing on a street that he named up there just like that. He says, "Definitely will be stopping in and doing some more business and shopping to support this guy." One commenter said. Another one said, "Where's the store owner's GoFundMe link? The hero deserves a sandwich."
There you go.
Good shot, old man.
There
The
you
not
go.
so tough thug is very lucky he didn't get shot between the eyes, another person said.
Seriously, just crying like a little girl. I don't understand that.
I know, yeah. I mean, he cried like a little bitch. Go in there and you're gonna rob somebody. Well, I like what happened there. To me, the guy did not die. I guess you don't have to have him die, but I thought that was a great. We used to call it happy ending, but armed citizen, because that was a perfect example in a California town where that who knows what could have happened. I mean, Mr. Cope could have been killed.
Or his employees. And I like how he says, "I want to protect my employees, my customers, and myself." He's a selfless man.
Absolutely.
He is sitting there thinking about the others.
Yeah, the robber did end up in the hospital, though. They stabilized him, and then he was taken into custody once he was released. So that's our armed citizen of the week. On a sad note,
he's not armed. He's not armed anymore, though.
He's not armed anymore. This was this happened in basically 2022, but Mr. Cope, he did die in 2023 in January. So natural causes. He was 81 years old by that time. Yeah. So. But hey, another patriot out there in California holding the line, and we're proud to have him as our armed citizen of the week.
There you go. I like that.
Well, I'll tell you what. I know. So tomorrow night we have Jamie. He's coming on with 701 Nation. His guest tomorrow night is Wayne Muth, and they're going to be talking about some hunting stuff. If you guys haven't seen it yet, antelope seasons are being held. And you can go and apply right now at the Game and Fish Mismanagement site for North Dakota Game and Fish. Get in there. I did get my tag applications put in for me and the boys. Of course, we get gratis, so I know we'll get one. I can tell you in my area, which is, was it 6? I forget what the antelope unit is. It's 6 something. Anyway, I think it's 6A. There isn't a whole lot of antelope around this area. There's enough. We're probably going to go hunting, but there probably won't be a lot of others hunting on mine, just because there's just not that many antelope. I'm not going after the big buck. There is a decent one on the place. If he can survive, he'll be perfect next year. I want a nice big doe. I haven't had an antelope season here for so long. I really love antelope meat, so I'm going after a doe with my tag. I really am. That's what I'm going to plan to do. So yeah, if you're in the North Dakota antelope season, the applications are open right now. Okay. By the way, Brian says, by the way, I heard on Dakota Prairie Outdoors this afternoon that North Dakota is 9 in gun ownership at 46%. And that was per capita. So takes in the percentage. I'd like to see and break those numbers down as to the actual population and the guns estimated in the state. I bet it's much higher than that. But yeah, I heard that too. I heard that on the radio. South Dakota was way down the list, like a 23rd or 22nd.
Rookie numbers. We need to get those numbers up. Yeah.
And Alaska came in at 60+%, was 61, I think 61% per capita.
And I don't understand that, because they've got a lot more predators up there. So you would think but yeah,
you still got you got Fairbanks, and that's full of libs. So there is that. But no, so anyway, that was just the kind of and there is leftover tags for deer season. I don't know when the cutoff is for that. If you want to apply for the leftovers, they got way too many available in 3F2, which is my unit here. All doe tags, way too many. I think 1,700 and some available. It's insane. I think what they're trying to do, and I said this here the other day, I really believe what that has to do with, because this is a CWD unit, And that seems to be now the protocol. Other states are doing it where they're giving out tons of tags trying to kill them off. And that's just a stupid approach too. So there's a couple of guys that I told, yep, go ahead and get a doe tag and come on down and have some fun. But it's not going to be a free for all. I can tell you that.
No.
My deer are starting to show up again. I got some good numbers. The whitetails are recovering, and grouse. Holy cow for grouse! Thousands of grouse. I'm not exaggerating. There was a bunch last year. So if you're a grouse hunter, come on down if you know me. And, give me a call and come on down and try your hand at some grouse, because there is a ton of grouse. And the cover, we had a lot of cover around this year. We were blessed with moisture. That isn't everywhere, but here we were. So. And then
drying up right now, though. Ooh.
It is. So you want to tune in tomorrow night, 701 Nation. Jamie's going to be on with Wayne Muth, 8 o'clock Central, 7 Mountain. And, of course, Friday morning, it'll be Mitchell in the morning. And that'll be at 7 o'clock p.m. Mountain, 8 o'clock, not p.m., a.m., 7:15 a.m. and 8:15 p.m. Central. Mitchell in the morning. I'll be flying solo Friday with Todd Mitchell. We got some good subjects. Like I said, I'm going to talk a little bit more about that RNC deal and a few other things. And we're going to kind of take it from there. I think we're going to kind of just have a fun show. Todd likes to get involved in some of that. So, yeah, we'll go with that. And then, of course, every Wednesday night right here, at least through September. I think the beginning of September we might switch times back. But that'll be 7 o'clock p.m. Mountain, 8 o'clock p.m. Central.
Yeah, we'll see.
And hopefully we have Twitter back up and running. I think I know what we did.
If we figured that out, then we'll be good to go.
But I will have to try it out. So with that, that's all I got tonight, Mike. You got anything you want to add?
No.
You had a good trip. We're glad you made it home safe.
I did have a good trip. Jack had a great trip. I snuck him out from curfew a few times down to Bourbon Street late at night, and we did see some beads being tossed and whatnot. So it was
there you go.
Pretty interesting, and it was a great place. But yeah, we had a great time. So it was fantastic, and the food you really can't beat the food. I mean, I'll tell you what, all the kids from our church and whatnot, from frog legs and crab cakes and all the other stuff, they were eating all that stuff, and I was pretty proud of them. So they were all over the place. But yeah, it was. I had met some great guys down there with the airboats as well. I got to get their official name, but they turned us on to a restaurant that you never would have thought of. It was daiquiri, Cajun daiquiris.
Really,
is the name of it. We were, when you see the place, you think, no, 91-year-old Nana that works there. She still makes all the food and preps it all in the morning, and her recipes. And oh my God, it's just the best damn food I've ever had in my life. And so yeah.
Speaking of that, did we load that up?
What's that?
The JD Vance thing.
Yes, we did.
Let's play that quick. Like we'll leave you with this, guys. This was JD Vance at the RNC talking about his grandma. I tell you, you gotta love it. If he was brought up like anyway how she was, that'll be a good thing. So
well, until next time.
And while we're on the topic of grandparents, let me tell you another Mamaw story. Now, my Mamaw died shortly before I left for Iraq in 2005. And when we went through her things, we found 19 loaded handguns. They were... Now, the thing is, they were stashed all over her house, under her bed, in her closet, in the silverware drawer. And we wondered what was going on, and it occurred to us that towards the end of her life, Mamaw couldn't get around so well. And so this frail old woman made sure that no matter where she was within arm's length of whatever she needed to protect her family. That's who we fight for. That's American spirit.
That was good stuff right there.
That was pretty good. I don't remember how to take this off of here.
Oh, you just click that top one right
there.
There
you go. So I thought everyone would like that. And as we've been trying to end every show, I'd like to actually end with a small prayer. Lord, thank you for the blessings you've given to each and every one of us. Please watch over our men and women as they fight to defend this country and help serve you. Watch over them, keep them safe, and keep them out of harm's way. Bring them all home safe so that their families can see them all once again safe and sound. We also ask that you guide over our country and our leaders so we may continue to be the country that you helped found. We found this country many, many years ago, 250 plus years ago, on the basis and foundation of Christianity and on your word, that all the rights given to us were guaranteed and given to us by you, by our Creator. It's outlined in our Declaration and referenced many times through our founding. So again, God, please watch over us, keep us safe, bless this country again, and hopefully, everybody will see the light someday. In your name we pray. Amen. All right. Well, I guess that's all I got tonight. Everybody keep your powder dry. You know, that's how we end every show.
That's right.
Stay safe, and God's blessings to everyone. We'll see you next.